Have you ever wondered what people share online right before their unexpected deaths? Could a simple social media update become someone's final message to the world? The digital footprints we leave behind can sometimes become haunting reminders of life's fragility, preserved forever in the virtual realm even after we're gone. Number 12. Chester Bennington's last family photo. Just days before Linkin Park frontman Chester Bennington took his own life in July 2017, his wife Tillinda shared what would become a heartbreaking final glimpse into their family life. The photo showed Chester smiling and laughing with his family at a beach in California. What makes this post particularly poignant is how it contradicts the inner struggles the musician was facing. "This was days before my husband took his own life," Tillinda later wrote when resharing the image. "Suicidal thoughts were there, but you'd never know." The contrast between Chester's beaming smile in the photo and the reality of his mental health battle shocked fans worldwide. Friends and family members later explained that Chester had been deeply affected by the suicide of his close friend Chris Cornell just 2 months earlier. The final family photo serves as a sobering reminder that social media often shows only one carefully curated dimension of a person's life, while deeper struggles remain hidden from view. Mental health advocates have since used this story to emphasize how depression and suicidal thoughts can be invisible to outside observers. Chester's legacy now extends beyond his musical achievements to include raising awareness about mental health struggles and the importance of reaching out for help. Number 11. Paul Walker's charity event announcement. On the very day of his fatal car accident in November 2013, Fast and Furious star Paul Walker's social media team shared a post promoting a charity event for his organization Reach Out Worldwide. The foundation was hosting a toy drive to benefit victims of Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines. Walker had established the charity after witnessing the aftermath of the 2010 Haiti earthquake, and humanitarian work had become increasingly important to him alongside his acting career. The post showed Walker's dedication to helping others even on the day his life would tragically end. After attending the charity event, Walker and his friend Roger Rodas decided to take a quick drive in Rodas's Porsche Carrera GT. Neither would return. The car crashed into a concrete lamppost and 2 trees before bursting into flames. Investigators later determined the vehicle had been traveling between 80 and 93 miles per hour in a 45 mph zone. The tragic irony of Walker dying on the same day as promoting charity work wasn't lost on his millions of fans. The post transformed from a simple event announcement into a final testament to his character and the causes he championed. In the years following his death, Walker's daughter Meadow has continued his philanthropic legacy, ensuring that his final public message of giving back lives on through ongoing charitable initiatives. Number 10. Cory Monteith's hopeful final tweet. Glee star Cory Monteith shared what would become his final tweet just days before his accidental overdose in July 2013. In it, he expressed excitement about watching the sci-fi original movie Sharknado, writing about how it was really scary and that he hoped the sharks don't eat me. The light-hearted, casual nature of the tweet stands in stark contrast to the tragedy that would unfold. Monteith was found dead in his Vancouver hotel room after mixing alcohol with heroin. He had recently completed a stint in rehab and was seemingly on a path to recovery. Friends and co-stars were devastated, particularly his girlfriend and Glee co-star Lea Michele. The show eventually addressed his death in a special tribute episode, struggling to find balance between honoring the actor and addressing the circumstances of his passing. What makes Monteith's final social media presence especially heartbreaking is how ordinary and hopeful it seemed. He was just a young man looking forward to watching a campy movie, giving no indication of the struggles he was still facing. His story highlights the often hidden nature of addiction, even in the age of seemingly transparent social media sharing. The legacy of Monteith's battle with addiction has since sparked important conversations about substance abuse and recovery. His mother has become an advocate for addiction awareness, turning the tragedy of his final days into an opportunity to help others facing similar challenges. Number 9. Steve Irwin's last recorded message. While not technically a social media post in the modern sense, wildlife expert Steve Irwin's final recorded message to camera feels spiritually connected to today's culture of video sharing. Just before filming the fateful encounter with a stingray that would take his life in September 2006, Irwin recorded a simple, enthusiastic message about his latest adventure. "I'm having the time of my life doing what I love to do with my family," he told the camera with his signature enthusiasm. The recording later appeared in documentaries about his life and circulated widely online, becoming a de facto final post that encapsulates everything fans loved about the crocodile hunter. Hours later, while filming a documentary called Ocean's Deadliest, Irwin encountered a stingray in shallow water. In a freak accident, the stingray's barb pierced his chest, severing a major artery near his heart. His film crew captured the tragic moment, but the footage has never been publicly released out of respect for Irwin's family. The contrast between his joyful final message and the tragedy that followed serves as a powerful reminder of life's unpredictability. Irwin died doing what he loved most, surrounded by the natural world he had dedicated his life to protecting and sharing with audiences worldwide. His legacy has been carried on by his wife Terry and children Bindi and Robert, who continue his conservation work and maintain his enthusiastic approach to wildlife education. That final recorded message, with its unbridled passion for wildlife and family, has become an enduring symbol of Irwin's life philosophy. Number 8. Christina Grimmie's concert promotion. Former The Voice contestant Christina Grimmie posted a video inviting fans to her Orlando concert on June 10, 2016. "Come out, I'm at the Plaza Live," she enthusiastically told her followers. Hours later, while signing autographs after that very show, she was fatally shot by an obsessed fan who then took his own life. The 22-year-old singer had risen to fame first on YouTube, where she built a dedicated following through cover songs before competing on The Voice in 2014. Her final social media interactions were simply encouraging fans to attend her performance, making the subsequent tragedy all the more shocking. Grimmie's death sparked important conversations about security at meet and greet events and the darker side of fame in the social media age. Fellow musicians and online creators expressed their horror and grief, with many questioning their own safety when interacting with fans. What makes this case particularly troubling is how her last post served exactly its intended purpose, bringing fans together to celebrate music, but unknowingly included the person who would end her life. Her story highlights the complex relationship between social media celebrities and their audiences, where the line between healthy fandom and dangerous obsession can sometimes blur. In the years since her death, Christina's family established the Christina Grimmie Foundation, which offers financial and emotional support to families affected by gun violence. Her brother Marcus, who tackled the shooter and likely prevented further violence that night, has become an advocate for performer safety and gun control. Number 7. Anton Yelchin's mysterious final photo. Just days before his freak accident in June 2016, Star Trek actor Anton Yelchin posted a mysterious black and white photo to his Instagram account. The image showed him posing in what appeared to be an artistic self-portrait, with no caption to explain its significance. The 27-year-old rising star was killed when his Jeep Grand Cherokee rolled backward down his steep driveway, pinning him against a brick pillar and security fence. The vehicle had been part of a recall due to its confusing gear shifter design, which led many drivers to mistakenly believe their cars were in park when they were actually in neutral. Yelchin's final social media post has been analyzed extensively by fans looking for meaning, but its ambiguity only adds to the tragedy. The young actor had been gaining recognition not just for his role as Chekhov in the rebooted Star Trek franchise, but also for critically acclaimed performances in independent films. His photography, less known to the public, revealed another dimension of his artistic talents. Friends and co-stars were devastated by the senseless nature of his death. The subsequent wrongful death lawsuit filed by his parents against the vehicle manufacturer highlighted the real-world consequences of design flaws and corporate responsibility. What makes Yelchin's final post particularly haunting is how it captures his artistic sensibility, a glimpse into the creative perspective that was lost. Unlike many final social media updates that seem mundane in retrospect, his last shared image feels almost like an intentional artistic statement, though one whose meaning remains forever open to interpretation. Number 6. Bob Saget's optimistic tour update. Beloved comedian and Full House star Bob Saget shared what would become his final Instagram post on January 9, 2022, after performing a stand-up set in Jacksonville, Florida. "I'm back in comedy like I was when I was 26. I guess I'm finding my new voice and loving every moment of it," he wrote, alongside a selfie from the stage. His upbeat message, full of gratitude and optimism about returning to his stand-up roots, makes what happened next all the more shocking. Just hours later, Saget was found unresponsive in his Orlando hotel room. Medical examiners later determined he had suffered blunt head trauma, likely from an accidental fall. The post is particularly poignant because it captures Saget at a moment of professional fulfillment. After decades in the entertainment industry, he expressed genuine joy at reconnecting with live comedy audiences. His reference to finding his new voice suggests he saw himself at the beginning of a fresh chapter rather than nearing the end. Colleagues from throughout his career shared their grief, with many Full House co-stars describing him as family rather than merely a colleague. The disconnect between his final joyful message and the sudden tragedy that followed lent an additional layer of shock for his millions of fans. What makes Saget's final post especially meaningful is how it encapsulates his career-long ability to connect with audiences. Even in his last public communication, he expressed appreciation for the crowd and enthusiasm for his craft values that defined his approach to entertainment throughout his life. Number 5. Cameron Boyce's portrait. Disney Channel star Cameron Boyce shared a striking black and white portrait of himself on Instagram just days before his unexpected death in July 2019. The photo, which showed him in profile, gave no indication of the health crisis that would soon take his life at age 20. Boyce died in his sleep from an epileptic seizure, a condition his family later revealed he had been receiving treatment for. His sudden passing shocked fans who had watched him grow up on screen in the Descendants franchise and other Disney productions. Former co-stars and directors remembered him not just for his talent, but for his humanitarian work. At a young age, Boyce had already been involved with several charitable causes, including efforts to provide clean water in developing countries and initiatives to combat homelessness. The contrast between his artistic final post and the medical reality that ended his life so suddenly underscores how little of our health struggles we typically share on social media. While Boyce had been dealing with epilepsy privately, his public persona remained focused on his creative pursuits and charitable endeavors. His parents later established the Cameron Boyce Foundation to honor his memory and continue his philanthropic legacy. The foundation focuses on causes important to the young actor, including epilepsy awareness and gun violence prevention. Through this work, the impact of his life extends far beyond his final social media image. Number 4. Kobe Bryant's congratulatory message to LeBron James. Basketball legend Kobe Bryant's final social media post came just hours before the helicopter crash that claimed his life, his daughter Gianna's life, and the lives of 7 others in January 2020. The post congratulated fellow NBA star LeBron James on surpassing Bryant's career scoring record, writing, "Continuing to move the game forward at King James. Much respect, my brother." This final message exemplifies Bryant's evolving relationship with basketball in his post-playing years. Rather than expressing jealousy about losing his scoring position, he showed support and respect for the player following in his footsteps. The gracious tone reflected Bryant's transition from fierce competitor to elder statesman and mentor. The timing of the post became particularly significant in light of what followed. Bryant and 13-year-old Gianna were traveling to her basketball game when the helicopter crashed in foggy conditions near Calabasas, California. The world lost not only an NBA legend but also a father who had been actively nurturing the next generation of players, including his daughter. The crash triggered global mourning, with memorials appearing in cities worldwide. For many fans, his final social media interaction became a touchpoint for grief, showcasing his generous spirit even as his own basketball records were being surpassed. What makes Bryant's last post especially poignant is how it represents the connection between basketball generations, a torch-passing moment that unintentionally became his final public statement. In celebrating LeBron's achievement, Bryant demonstrated the mentorship approach that had come to define his post-NBA career, particularly his dedication to developing women's basketball. Number 3. Naya Rivera's maternal bond. Glee actress Naya Rivera shared what would become her final Instagram post on July 7, 2020, just one day before her tragic drowning accident at Lake Peru, California. The image showed her embracing her 4-year-old son Josie, captioned simply, "Just the two of us." This heartbreaking final post gained additional significance when details of Rivera's death emerged. According to investigators, after their rented boat began drifting, Rivera mustered enough strength to save her son by getting him back aboard the vessel, but couldn't save herself. Her final act was one of maternal sacrifice, directly connecting to her last social media message about their special bond. The search for Rivera captured national attention, with former Glee co-stars joining family members at the lake during the 5-day search operation. Her body was recovered on July 13th, exactly 7 years to the day after her co-star Cory Monteith's death, a coincidence that didn't go unnoticed among the show's grieving fan community. Rivera's career had expanded beyond acting to include music and writing, but her role as a mother had become central to her identity. Her posthumously published memoir revealed how becoming a parent had transformed her life and priorities. That transformation makes her final post and the circumstances of her death all the more meaningful. The image of mother and son preserved forever online serves as both a celebration of their relationship and a painful reminder of what was lost. For her fans, the photo captures the essence of Rivera's life in its final chapter, defined above all by her devotion to her child. Number 2. Brittany Murphy's premonition. Actress Brittany Murphy's final Twitter message in December 2009 now seems eerily prescient. "Today will be better than yesterday," she wrote, adding, "God, please allow me to be a vessel of yours in this life and next." Just weeks later, the clueless and 8 Mile star collapsed in her Los Angeles home and later died at age 32. The initial cause was listed as pneumonia, with contributing factors of iron deficiency anemia and multiple drug intoxication from prescription and over-the-counter medications. Adding to the tragedy, her husband Simon Monjack died just 5 months later from similar causes, leading to speculation about possible environmental factors in their home. Murphy's spiritually themed final message took on new meaning after her unexpected passing. The reference to both this life and next struck many fans as an eerie foreshadowing, though there's no evidence she had any premonition about her impending death. Her career had been in a transitional period, with recent roles in smaller productions after earlier success in major Hollywood films. Reports of health issues and weight loss had fueled tabloid speculation, but the severity of her medical conditions wasn't publicly known. What makes Murphy's final social media message particularly haunting is its hopeful, forward-looking tone coupled with spiritual reflection. It captures someone looking toward a better future and seeking purpose, an optimism that makes her sudden death all the more shocking in retrospect. Number 1. Chadwick Boseman's final tweet. Perhaps no celebrity death in recent years shocked the public more than Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman's passing in August 2020. His final tweet, posted on his account, celebrated the historic nomination of Kamala Harris as the first Black woman and first Asian American vice presidential candidate for a major party. What made this post particularly poignant was that Boseman had been secretly battling colon cancer for 4 years through the filming of several physically demanding roles, including Black Panther, without public knowledge of his condition. His focus on a historic moment for representation rather than his personal struggle speaks volumes about his character. After his death, fans revisited interviews and public appearances with new understanding, noticing his weight loss and occasional fatigue that had been attributed to demanding roles. All the while, Boseman had been undergoing surgeries and chemotherapy between filming schedules. His portrayal of King T'Challa in Black Panther had transformed him into a cultural icon and role model, particularly for Black children who finally saw themselves represented as a superhero in a major franchise. That he continued this important work while facing his own mortality added another dimension to his legacy. What makes Boseman's final social media engagement so significant is how it reflects his lifelong commitment to meaningful representation and social progress, even as he privately battled a terminal illness. His last public message wasn't about himself, but about celebrating a barrier being broken consistent with the values he championed throughout his career. The contrast between his public focus on others' achievements and his private health battle epitomizes a life devoted to purpose beyond personal concerns. His final tweet serves as a fitting conclusion to a life that, while tragically shortened, was defined by using his platform to inspire and elevate others. Have you considered what your last social media post might say about you? Would it reflect what truly mattered in your life or merely capture a passing moment that held little significance?